Alright guys, welcome back. So for today's video, I want to show you guys a new build that is not complete, but shootable. We can take this thing out to the range, have some fun with it, but it's not complete. Still got some other parts that I want to get for it. But like I said, it is shootable. So I want to show you guys what I built, go over the parts that I'm using. Then also I have a question for you guys out there at the end with a slight little hiccup or issue that I'm having with this, and see if you guys could have any solutions for me. But what I'm talking about is this guy right here. Try to scoot back so you guys can see the whole thing. But this is my Spikes Tactical 9mm AR9 build. And I've done a few videos, well, at least one video. I know I've talked about this in the chats also, so if you come to the chats, you've seen this. But I have made one video at least on this, showing you guys the parts when I first got the parts, showing you guys what we're going to be doing, and giving you guys, kind of a first look at a build that was going to be coming up. But I didn't do a whole lot of videos really putting this thing together because I already do have videos building a lower. I got videos installing one of these handguards and stuff like that. So I didn't want to be repetitive and bore you guys with another video like that. So I figured I'd just throw it together and then show you guys the finished product. And if you ever want to see how one of these handguards go on or how a lower is built, just look back through the channel. I've got videos on all that type of stuff. But like I said, this is my Spikes AR9 build. So let's go ahead and go over some of the parts that I'm using. And I did try to stick with as many Spikes parts as possible. And mainly because when I do a build, I like to keep all of the parts the same brand if possible. It just seems, the builds always work out better that way. The parts are by the same company, they're made to go together, and you usually have less issues that way. Not saying you're not going to have issues, but normally you run into, you have pretty good luck with it. And also, you guys know if you watch the channel, I do love all the Spike stuff that I've used. I've done a lot of builds with them, had their complete rifles, used a lot of their parts, and have been very, very happy with it. But like I was saying, the whole build kind of kicked off because of that guy right there. This is the Spikes 9mm dedicated lower that does take Glock magazines. Now they do also have an option that takes Colt magazines, but for me personally, I own Glocks. I have a bunch of these magazines and they kind of go hand in hand, and so it'll work perfectly for me. But if you want the Colt pattern, they have that as well. But like I said, it kind of started off with the lower. My local gun shop, Shots and Shells, you guys see me wearing their stuff all the time, talking about them all the time. They had a couple of these in stock. And I was really always staring at it every time I went in there saying, man, I'd love to have that. But at the time, I was doing the Southeast Traders pistol build, and I was trying to dedicate my focus and money and stuff to getting that build done. But finally, I gave in, picked it up, brought it home, and that's why we decided to go ahead and do this build here. But the upper receiver is just your standard, 5.56. It is a Spikes also, as you can see the spider right there on the back. But this is just your standard 5.56 upper, which will work perfectly. Got this from Shots and Shells as well. The parts kit that's in there is Spikes. It was just some random parts that I had because the takedown pins, the bolt catch, and a lot of other stuff were already on this when I bought it. It comes that way, so I just had to put the selector, the grip, and the trigger in it. And this is all Spike stuff, except for the grip. It is a BCM grip, and I don't know if that's staying on there or not. It's just one that I had. But that's Spikes, and then we are running an 8.3-inch Spikes 9mm barrel. And let's see, what else is Spikes? Oh, the bolt carrier group. I'll open that up so you can see it. You can see the spider on there, hopefully. The bolt carrier group is a 9mm bolt carrier group, which is Spikes Tactical. I do have a Spikes ST9X, if I'm not mistaken. I'll annotate it if I'm wrong, but the buffer that's in here is a 9mm buffer. I'm running a Wolf Extra Power carbine spring, and we got the CAC tube and the CAC, or the shocker. What's that thing called? Shockwave blade brace. There we go. Some Magpul imbus sights. We do have the Magpul angled foregrip up here, or hand stop, whatever you want to call it, up here up front. And all of this is on a Midwest Industries 9.25-inch M-LOK handguard. And if you notice up there up front, yes, there is a muzzle device on here. That is the CAC micro flash cannon. As you can see, it barely pokes out of there. And that's exactly the look that I was going for. So the 8.3-inch barrel with the micro flash can from CAC Industries will fit just like this under the 9.25-inch Midwest Industries handguard. And I mean, look at that. That's maybe 1/4 of an inch sticking out the top there. And that is, like I said, guys, that was exactly what I was looking for. I think that gives it an awesome, awesome look. I'll see if I can give you a look this way also. You can see how well it fits. You have a little bit of room all the way around it. It fits in there absolutely perfectly. So if you're wanting to do a similar setup like this, the CAC micro flash can does fit under the Midwest Industries handguard perfectly. So I think that's a pretty good rundown of all of the parts that we're using on this build. And again, here's another look at it. Absolutely fantastic. I love the way that it looks and can't wait to get it out and shoot it. But like I was telling you guys, I am running into a little bit of an issue. This is the lower that I've got here is a last round bolt hold open. So when you fire the last shot, it will hold open. Not all 9mm lowers have that feature, but this one does. But as you can see, I do have the magazine in here, and I'll try to see if I can do this because kick the camera like a professional. But with the extra power spring and all the heavy, this is actually a little more difficult to pull back than your standard AR-15. So trying to do it one-handed in front of a camera can be a little bit tricky. But I'll try to pull that thing back. Okay, you can see it's pulled back, but it does not lock back. Okay, it doesn't matter if I use the empty magazine. It doesn't matter if I pull it all the way back and try to hit the bolt catch, it will not lock back. And it's going to be a little too difficult to try to show you guys that inside the camera. I don't think I can do it. Let me see, but even if I hit that, can you guys see in there? Probably not. But it will not catch. It's about a 1/16 of an inch. It needs to go back another 1/16 of an inch to catch the bolt catch. And like I said, I'm using the Spikes ST9X buffer with the extra power spring, but I have tried some other combinations. I did take the heavier spring out, put a standard carbine spring in with this particular buffer, and no change. And I took out all of this, put in a standard carbine spring and a Spikes T2 buffer, and added this guy right here. I brought it out here so I could show you this guy right here. And this is a little spacer slash buffer. This one is a Spikes tactical part, but I know other places make it. But this is a spacer because when you use a standard, AR-15 style buffer tube with a 9mm bolt, you get too much travel. And when it goes back too far and then comes back forward, that's how you break your bolt catches, because it's got too much velocity coming back. So you got to limit the travel, and that's why the 9mm buffers are a little bit longer. But I use the T2 with this, and it gives me about the same results as this. Now, if I put a T2 in there with a standard carbine spring and no spacer, of course it goes back, it locks open, but it goes about an inch or so past the bolt catch. So of course that will not work. I'll end up shearing that bolt catch off. It's not working. So I'm kind of at a loss. I've been doing a lot of research and a lot of reading, a lot of Google searches, and I'm not really coming up with any solutions. So I'm going to reach out to you guys. Anybody who has built a 9mm AR like this and has maybe ran into this issue, let me know what buffer you're using, if you're using a spacer, what spring, what combination is working for you, especially if you're running a CAC tube. I also thought maybe the CAC tube is a little shallower than a standard pistol buffer tube or something like that, or even a standard carbine buffer or a buffer tube. I don't know. So if you guys have a CAC tube, a 9mm build, let me know the combination that you're using with buffers and springs and all that stuff that allows your bolt to lock back, gives you enough travel to lock it back. Now the only other thing that I noticed, and it wasn't really something that I wanted to do, and I dropped it, but that's why I picked up that little spacer, is a lot of people will stack quarters in their buffer tubes. Seen a lot of people talking about that on the forums. They'll stack quarters in there until they get the right amount of space that they need to let it come back just a little bit behind the bolt catch and allow it to catch. So are you doing that? I mean, if you had good luck with that, maybe I'll have to end up doing that with the standard like T2 or T3 buffer. I don't know. So that is my question for you guys. That is you guys' homework for tonight. But overall, I mean, I know it'll still go out and I could probably still shoot it. I don't think it's going to hurt the gun any to take it out and shoot it that way. But it's not going to lock back, and it's going to really bother me because I like the bolt hold open feature and I want it to work. But overall, guys, very, very happy with the way this thing turned out so far, and cannot wait to get it out to the range the first time. And of course, I'll bring you guys along when we take it out to the range. We'll have some fun with it, see if it functions and all that. But for now, guys, that's all I wanted to share with you guys today. Just wanted to show you guys the build, go over the parts, and also ask you guys for some suggestions on buffer springs and buffers and stuff like that that work with 9mm builds. This is my very first one. I am a noob when it comes to this stuff, so definitely let me know what works for you, what doesn't work for you. Would love to hear your suggestions. But anyhow, guys, like I said, thanks for watching the video. Thanks for hanging out. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Let me know what you think of the build. Do you like the way that it turned out? If you have some suggestions on parts, definitely leave it down in the comment section down below. Would love to hear what you guys have to say, and maybe we'll get some stuff changed up on here. Might change the grip. Of course, we need an optic. Might do some ambi safeties and stuff like that. Little things. But for the most part, very happy with it. And if you have questions, comments, concerns, as always, leave it down in the comment section below, and I'll do my best to get back with you. And before you take off, make sure you do check the description box. I've always got a ton of stuff listed down there. Channel sponsors, social media, a big list of companies for you guys to go show some love to, because they have helped out the channel in one way or another. So go check them out. Let them know that I sent you. I would greatly appreciate that. And as always, I appreciate each and every one of you guys watching, and we'll catch you in the next one.